So I've got the Moto Gadget bar end indicators on my bike, and installing them was a breeze. Okay, by breeze I mean I didn't have too much hassle from it. They aren't plug and play though. You still need to route the wires through your bars, heat shrink them if you're that way inclined. Remove the old indicator wires from the connectors, which can be a pain if you don't have the tools, and add the terminals to the new wires. Also adjusting the rubber inserts of the indicators so they correctly fit into your bar ends. Yeah, a breeze. No issues there, and no Hyperflash. However, I've now since bought the Dynamics micro or nanos. I think these are the micros, so the nanos are the half the size of these, the dots. But I've bought these, I've wired them in, and now I'm getting the Hyperflash. So, and if you're not aware of what the Hyperflash is, it is this. Here we go. So see at the bar end. So flash, 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 and then it starts going quick. And essentially what's happening is the computer's saying there's less power there, and so it thinks the bulb's gone out. And so the Hyperflash doesn't do anything, like it's not affecting anything. It's just kind of annoying. I think I've read or heard that if you got the Hyperflash happening, they won't pass you on your MOT as well. I don't know. You can feel free to comment and let me know if that is actually the case. But yeah, it's just annoying me. I don't like it. So I'm going to try and sort that. Now, I had two options. One was pay 80 quid for it's like a module that you plug into your wire harness, and it fixes it. It more or less tells the computer what's up and gets that sorted. I'm not paying 80 quid for that. It's mental. So I think on the newer bikes, so I've got an 09 Dyna. On the newer bikes, I believe you can sort of reteach the ECU. I don't know, you can reteach it. So apparently if you leave your hazards on for 20 seconds or so, it recalibrates, and it's like, ah, cool, everything's working, no worries. These older bikes, it doesn't, hence why you need the module. The other option is getting a pack of these resistors, I guess. Are they resistors? I can't remember. I can't remember what they are. So I'm going to try and put these on. Now, I was at the custom bike show and I was talking to, shout out Red Viking, it was you. That apparently these heat up, they get quite hot. So, because he's also having the same issue. So I'm going to install this sucker and see what happens. I don't like the setup of them. It's a bit shit because the way they've got them. You've got both your ground wires coming out the same end here, so you've got to loop them like this, which is average AF. God, I'm so hip with my lingo. I still don't know how I'm going to mount on the inside, to be honest. I will give it a go. I wish I was out on my bike, but I made the rookie error of having a few too many drinks while the weather was crusty. Right. Come with me. So first things first, I need to loosen up the indicator, take it off really. It's quite tight up in there. My fat fingers struggle to get up underneath. I decided to put the bike on a jack, just so it wasn't leaned so much over towards me, because I'm working on the ground. I need to get a bike lift really, but Money, money, money. So you'll see here what I'm using on the indicator wires. I've got these little clips. Now they're just an Amazon special, but it makes it a lot easier to be able to remove the indicator if I want to swap it over to something else, or even just do some work on it, whatever the reason is. It means I don't have to take off the whole backlight and change the plug connectors. Dead leg. Oh, pins and needles from kneeling. Jeez. As you get older, just stuff like kneeling sucks. And that one. Alright. I'm stripping the ends of these wires, which is actually proving more difficult than I thought because of the nylon covering. Children behave. That's what they say. Oh, can we turn this up? Woo! And then I'm using these solder connectors. Now, I can't speak more highly of these little things. If you're rubbish at soldering, which I found out I am, right, then these are so handy. You stick the two ends in, they meet up in the middle where there's a bit of solder. When you heat it up, that middle bit of solder ends up sort of melting all over the wires. And so as well as that, you've then got a nice plastic sealed case around the wires. Oh God, that's pretty shit. There's got to be a better way, but... Well, there is a better way, but it's £70 more. And in this day and age, who can afford an extra 70 quid? Right. Oh, right, let's let that hang. So you can see I've snipped them. The indicators, they're sort of the indicators for the backlight. So it had the outside ring that would go off, but it was too much. Those blinking plus those blinking, it was no good. So boof, they're gone. Come on, there we go. Right. Alright, that's out. Although, yo, that wasn't even... What's going on there? Ugh. Honestly, wiring sucks so much. There we go. Right, get in there. All the way. Need to hear that click. These things not stripping so well. Look at that, that's awful. Ugh. That was a bit better. God, how much do we love messing with wiring? Oh, so wonderful. Let's do more of it. Making sure that the two wires actually cross over in this solder bit. Not my finger. Do the other side. My legs are giving up. This is not a good position for me to be in. Man, I bought a little seat for this exact thing. I'm not even using it. And now we've got this interesting thing set up. I don't know how. I don't know how this is gonna look under here. What we're gonna do. Don't really want to now. Just can't be bothered.
It was at this moment that he knew. He fucked up.
You know when you do things without really thinking them through. How do I get that through the bike? That's why I was There we go. And now we've found the method to the madness. That's why I was using those clips. Looks like I've got to take that side off. Use these clips. Clip them back in. Huh. Wow. Wow. That's a little bit annoying. Right, so now where are my pliers at? Come on. I mean, I've got everything so nicely organized. I swear I had a pair of pliers. Oh wait. That'll work. Right. I just need to get on this and try and clamp down on it. Click. 1. Come on. Click 2. There we go. Looks worse than it is. I don't know. It's like you can pull that. They clip them really quite well. So now I can thread the light through and then try and clip it on. I haven't left a lot with the light, to be honest. I might need to extend those wires on there because it's so fiddly trying to reach through the fender and clip this on. And there's only one. I've got to do the other side. This is wearing on me really quickly. Got plenty of space for excess wires. The problem is, go back to this, we've still got dinkle dangles here. Really, I need something that's going to hold it back there. Right, now we do the other side. This one though, we may have learned a couple of lessons. Hey! It's working. There is no Hyperflash. I mean, how long do you have an indicator on for? Because it is warming up. But then, right, and then turn it off. I mean, I was just indicating much longer than you normally would. I mean, it is warm. Yeah, it's cooling down now. Let's check the other one. That one's ice cold. I've now got. Okay, I've completely lost my indicator. That was dead cold. I need to actually check. I think it might be these connectors. I've done something here. Oh fuck. I thought I was about to finish and go inside to finish my beers. This is definitely pushing me to drink. Right. So, as you can imagine, I'm getting quite frustrated now. I've been doing this for most of the afternoon and I'm sick of playing with wires. But I decided to extend the small wires that come out from the indicator. I've chopped them back too short and it was getting too awkward to mess around with them. So I extended those and I was hoping that the better wires that I was using, slightly thicker as well, were going to improve the connection. I was worried about the fact that one side wasn't working at all, so I decided there to disconnect that indicator just to make sure my front one was still working, which thankfully it was. When I had it on, I was then trying to plug it in, see if the connection was any better, but still no bueno. Oh shit, that's hot though. Wow, ow. Yeah, that's super hot. That's hot. Yeah. I think I'm going to be paying 80 quid for the module. Well, that wasn't as successful as I was hoping for. I thought That was going to be simple. No, it's enough now. We'll continue this one. Maybe tomorrow. Yeah, I need to take that other one off the other side. I'll repin that little plug for the indicator, I think. Yeah, I think that's what I'll do. Right. We will continue this next time. Another beer time, I think. Well, it's a new day. I've done some researching. So I've been having a problem with the hyperflashing since I installed the Heinz Bikes micro LED indicators on the back of my Dyna. Now, it's not a problem with the indicators. They're brilliant. Problem lies the fact with the bulb indicators that come stock draw a lot more power than the LED. So when one of those goes out, the system puts into this hyper flash mode, kind of as an indicator to let you know one of your bulbs is out. It's not really an issue, other than it's annoying, and I don't think you'll pass MOT with it going. So I had a look. I got a pair of those, the resistors, and other than the fact that one side wasn't working, but I think that's my wiring, the resistor itself gets really, really hot, like to the point where you can't touch it, and that bugged me. I thought it was an issue because I bought these cheap ones, £10 from Amazon. So I put it away, did some researching, and it turns out that that's normal. The various shapes and sizes, there's loads of them online. You can get various prices too, and most of them do say these get really hot to touch. So you don't want them near wires, you don't want them near plastic parts. So that instantly put me off putting it anywhere where all my other wires are going. I know on my bike, under the seat, there is a lot of wires, connectors, terminals all jammed in there, and then on the side of the frame where a lot of the indicators, headlight and all that go into there, rammed as well. So I don't want these little resistors melting any of that stuff, because that would be problematic. I didn't check what side I need to do them on. Shoot. That's okay. We can, what we'll do, let's get this black one clipped on. Where's it thingy? Tightly now. Right. We'll clip the other side in, and then I'm going to have to check yellow versus ground, because I can't remember. Ooh. Oh, well, the yellow one's got a bit more length. I might have to trim that guy. Anyway, all right. Let's turn this on. The other way. Yeah, okay. All right, so black's on the inside, the ground's on the inside, same as that one. Okay, I've fast forwarded a bit because there's only so much wire chopping and crap you can watch. So this is now it. So Yeah, I use the yellow electrical tape. I'm real worried about the heat that comes off of this. Now it's got heat shrink tubing on it, and it's got the electrical tape going around the outside. I think that's going to be okay. They're not actually like directly touching it either. Well, that one is a wee bit due to just like naturally the way they're sitting. So I think it's going to be okay. But we'll plug this in roughly now and just make sure it's actually worked, and new pins on this connecting correctly and all that kind of jazz. And then yeah, if it works, happy days. I've just got to work out where underneath the fender this is going to stick. So to be on better, right? That. All right, let's plug this into here. Is it going to go in? Yes. Oh, it did. It's a nice click as well. Right. Turn this on. Indicator again. Yes. We're working with no Hyperflash. That is spectacular. That's a win, I would say. That is a win. Yeah. Now I just need to work out how I attach them on the inside. So I'll have a play around that, have a look, and I will show you what I do. Done. So here is how it is gone. I've pulled all the sort of slack, all the extra wiring, and sort of just looped it up in here. There's quite a lot of space in behind the light here, so that's all good. Because I've added so much extra wire to make it easier to to work on, and that yeah, there's a bit loose, so I've had to do that, but that's all good. So we'll put the light on 2 seconds, and then under here I've not actually done anything because it's so much stiffer now with all the tape and the like heat shrink and stuff. They sit pretty tightly up in there, and then the little clip that used to hold the indicator wire, let me see if I can get this guy up here. Yeah, so that's holding it, and it's all up against the fender. It's not moving around, and even if it did, with it clipped in, it's not long enough to like touch the tire or anything like that. So I think it's going to be all right. I may get some cable tie and just make sure that that's in there a bit better. But other than that, I think we're all gravy. So we'll do one last test to make sure I've actually wired it all in correctly. And I've got to do it before the battery camera dies. So we're on. Yep, we're on. Right, indicator. Got rear indicator. And no Hyperflash. That is very good. Right, next one. Do I have indicator? Yes, I've got indicator. And no Hyperflash. Oh, I'm so pleased. I'm really, really happy about that. So we're done. So yeah, you know what? For 10 quid, don't get me wrong, I've been faffing with these things for hours now. So yeah, there's definitely simpler options, but for the cost, I mean, that's pretty good. And I think it's going to hold. I think it's going to be good. So yeah, that's it. Now I can focus on cleaning this tip of a garage, get some new shelving up, and that sort of thing. Not much else to do on the bike for a while now. still, there are still things to do, but not right now. So, yeah. Battery died on the camera just as I was signing off. I'm gonna try and get more content out, bits and pieces, things I'm selling, how to install them. I get a lot of questions, things like installing the bar headlights, crash bars, all that kind of stuff. I'll put a video out about them. It's simple, easy stuff. That's why I can do it. And yeah, look, subscribe, like, take care. Thanks for stopping by.
Yo, this a motherfucking war zone.